He on, he on talking about, man. What's good with the people, man? It's your partner, man. Who? It's your partner, man. You know what I'm talking about? How's y'all doing on this Wicked Wisdom Wednesday, man? You gonna say Wicked Wisdom Wednesday? What are you talking about, baby? Cuz, oh, we gonna jump into it. But before we do that, what's good, people? Like, hee, ha, ha. He on talking about wise, man. He on talking about Ken and the pen, man. All my folks incarcerated, all my folks white, man. Everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing, man. Keep that head up. You know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get through it. To get to it, man. Did I say Ken and the pen? I don't know, but if I didn't, go get that stick up in stores now, man. You can go and get you one off of 76 MacArthur. They sold out. They'll be back, though. Giants, look is what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm talking about, man. 82nd Hillside Barbershop. You know what I'm talking about? They say somebody put them in their stores in the hundreds. Thank you, young man. You know what I'm talking about. Now, you know, because I tell you every morning. You know what I'm talking about? But just in case you won't be listening to bruh, you come get them from me. You know what I'm talking about? Did you see him? You know what I'm talking about? But if all else fails, man, I mean, if all else fails, you know what I'm talking about, man, you can go and grab you one off of Amazon. Make sure you copy a hardback, man. Funkadai trying in stores now. Make sure you go to Amazon, copy a hardback, man. You know what I'm talking about? Stick Up 2 coming soon. Funkadai trying to come real soon. You know what I'm talking about, man? Uh-oh, what's that? Swing that finger, you know what I mean? As you talking about this one right here, man, that's the one, bro. Come on, swing that thing, man. Rev him up. Come on with it, man. Worldwide INC, man. You know what I'm talking about? Worldwide Incorporated, man. You know what I'm talking about? One more for one, bro. Worldwide. They say, bro, you just play too much. They gonna say, but what does that mean? I'm gonna continuously tell you it means everybody, man. You know what I'm talking about? And Dugu, Fresh, Mike, Lil Rue, not Lil Rube, Lil Rue. You know what I'm talking about? Tata the player, that's who comes next. Same thing, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing, man. Everybody incarcerated, everybody who ain't, man. Keep that head up. You know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get through it. To get to it, man. Now let's get through these disclaimers. But before we do that, Mama always says, boy, brush them whiskers when you're on TV. You know what I'm talking about? Even if they got a hole in them. You know what I'm talking about, man. Coffee Chronicles. Classic Ross. Piping hot. You know what I'm talking about, man. Let's get through these old disclaimers. You know what I'm talking about? Like, good brother like myself, good brother like myself. I don't promote no drug usage. Good brother like me, I don't promote no drug sellers. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, you know what I'm talking about? I mean, I don't promote no alcohol consumption. Don't take a sip. I mean, not sip of the sippage. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself. You know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no crime. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself. You know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no violence. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself. You know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no domestic violence. You know what I'm talking about? Keep your hands off the people. He don't talking about he don't talking about don't. He don't talking about promote. He don't talking about no negativity. No, man. He don't talking about no, man. He don't talking about no. Me, man, I don't promote shit. He know what I'm talking about? They was talking to bruh. I don't promote shit. He know what I'm talking about? All I promote is y'all go ahead and do what you're gonna do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you find the right thing to do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen, because we just don't know how much we got, young ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm talking about? With good brother like myself, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't prejudiced. You know what I'm talking about? A good brother like myself, I ain't got nothing against the sexually different. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, I ain't got nothing against the little people. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, man, nah. Me, man, I ain't got no problems with nobody. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking to me, man. I just love everybody. You know what I'm talking about? As a matter of fact, I'm on a quest. You know what I'm talking about? Bring that peace. You know what I'm talking about? That joy. You know what I'm talking about? That love. You know what I'm talking about? That love. You know what I'm talking about? Back to YouTube community, man. You would be, come on over here, fuck with your partner. I, check it out, man. You know what I'm talking about? Come fuck with nigga one time. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, how y'all doing on this Wicked Wisdom Wednesday? You know, say Wicked Wisdom Wednesday. What are you talking about, bro? All that wicked wisdom we be displaying sometimes. I knew I had it, you know what I'm talking about. Shout out to everybody who just got taxed for their tax money. I'll give it here. I see. You know what I'm talking about, fucking man. I want to shout out my daughter one more time, Dita out. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all think I'm funny, man. Please, man. That lady is she's just funny for no reason, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you this out of real crazy. I told you, 'cause I'm one of the people that's been incarcerated damn near my whole life. So physically, I ain't even get a chance to be around her in her younger years. You know what I'm talking about? Coffee Chronicle. I didn't even physically get to be around that lady all like that in her younger years, right? And when I tell you that lady act just like me, that lady a little me. And it's just funny how that shit work, man. For real, man. That lady is just another little me, man. That lady just funny for no reason, man. She just got one of the funny spirits. She hella funny. I know y'all talking about. She hella funny. But Wicked Wisdom, man, they go just like that. Wicked Wisdom, what are you talking about? Like that, man. See, as people, even though, now let me, because this is what I do believe, because sometimes we be putting too much pressure on everybody else, you know what I'm talking about? That's why I said yesterday, like, I wasn't talking about the kids of the world, you know what I'm talking about? Because people, the world will act like it's up to you and only you to do something for everybody else, man, and it just can't, it ain't gonna never work like that, bro. That shit gonna get way too heavy and draining on you, you know what I'm talking about? That's gonna be too much for one motherfucker to handle. So, like, it's just up to you to, like, the kids around your immediate circle. You know what I'm talking about? Because we have a problem with every time somebody be bigger from us, we try to put the responsibility of the world on the next motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Without doing our part. We always talking about what another motherfucker could have did without doing what we could have did. You know what I'm talking about? And it just work like that. And that's how Wicked Wisdom work. Oh, 5 pop. 5 pop. That's how Wicked Wisdom work, man. And once again, I hate to go this route, but I mean it's everywhere, man. But it comes most from I ain't gonna say most, but it come a lot from the church people, man. It does. And you say, how does the wicked wisdom come from the church people, baby? Because like you can have wisdom of that Bible, and you could just play with it. You know what I'm talking about? And if you one of these motherfuckers who know that Bible back and forth, or you could really play with the words. You know what I'm talking about? And that's all pastors do. Not, you know, I'm talking about the pastors who do that. That's all they do, man. They somehow fit a sermon into what they want. You get what I'm saying? Want you to do. So if they want the people to pay tithes, guess what sermon they gonna come with? You know what I'm talking about? When guys say give 10% to the church, they gonna come with that one. So it'll be a heartfelt, you know what I'm talking about? But that's how they gonna get you. You get what I'm saying? And that's what we do. That's how we get to wicked wisdom. Because we'll have wisdom or something, and then we'll use the wisdom that we got or something. You know, I ain't gonna really say you use it against somebody, and that's a very thin line right there too, people. You know what I'm talking about? Because you can't never really blame somebody for something you don't know. You get what I'm saying? You better find out. But people be having wisdom and shit, and they do that intentionally. You know what I mean? They just do that intentionally. They take the wisdom they have to get over. You know what I'm talking about? But depending on how you look at it, some people gonna say they didn't get over. You feel me? They just gonna say this nigga didn't know the business. But if you knew the business and you know this nigga didn't know the business, I mean, it ain't your job to up him. But you know what I'm talking about? I just ain't into getting people. Coffee Chronicles. That shit don't be feeling right on the inside of me. You know what I'm talking about? That shit just don't be feeling right on the inside of me. But that's how we get the wicked wisdom, man. Cause we'll have knowledge of just anything. You know what I'm talking about? Kind of how like the mechanics be getting the bitches. They charge a bitch $1,500 for some brakes or some shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? It's something like that. And I'm not gonna tell you to watch out. I'm just gonna say the people who with the wicked wisdom, you know what I mean? Like everything you do, bruh, is gonna create the atmosphere that you like. You know what I mean? You gonna create your own atmosphere. So if you over here, you know what I'm talking about, doing a bunch of shit that you know ain't right, you know what I'm talking about? That's the atmosphere you gonna create. You gonna create an atmosphere of shit not being right, you know what I'm talking about? And that's how the shit gonna come back to you. But even when you do right, man, you know what I'm talking about? Some shit still might, you know what I'm talking about? But you gonna get it on the back end. I keep telling you that, man. You know what I'm talking about? But on this Wicked Wisdom Wednesday, I ain't gonna tell you what we need to stop doing. But I was shout out April Showers. I was on her live yesterday, right? I couldn't even tap in because I was at work. But it was a lady, I don't know who this lady was, man. But that lady got up there and said some of the most realest shit. And she was one of them church people. But that lady got up there and said some of the realest shit, just for real. She said everything in a nutshell. I wish everybody was on April Showers live. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out April Showers. You know what I'm talking about? But she was explaining how we always be calling ourselves Christians and shit. You know what I'm talking about? But we be the main ones sitting up here with all the confusion and criticizing people and trying to tell people what God told them. You know, some of that same shit baby cuz be telling you. And trying to just tell people I got. See, I didn't even see the video they was talking about, but I guess it was a good brother that came up there with a good sermon, and he was cussing. And I guess just because he was cussing, see, I don't know. This is what I got from it, y'all. I didn't see it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just going off what the lady said. I guess by him cussing, several other people didn't even hear his message because they stopped at the cuss words and they automatically judged him. And this be the shit I be trying to tell y'all, you know what I'm talking about? Y'all will sit there and just find anything to pick a motherfucker apart. You just will. Because that's what they teaching us to do now. You get what I'm saying? On this Wicked Wisdom Wednesday. For real. So I guess the brother had a good sermon, but because he was cussing, I guess they was trying to hold his feet to the fire. You know what I'm talking about? Because the man said a few cuss words. You get like a lot of times when you passionate about something, y'all, you know what I'm talking about? Like I said, I ain't even see the man's sermon. But when you passionate about something, man, like everybody just don't come in the form of people just come how they is, man. And that's what God told you to come as. You know what I'm talking about? Yourself. And that's how the wisdom get wicked. Because we be having the knowledge of that Bible, boy, don't we? You know what I'm talking about? And we'll just sit there and change it daily. We'll change it daily. I was just telling y'all that shit the other day. When y'all, like, we'll have something that be happening in our own life, then we try to go find a Bible verse and be talking about, see, this is what the Bible was talking about. That ain't what the fuck the Bible was talking about. That's what you trying to make the Bible mean right now. You know what I'm talking about? To prove the point about some shit you wrapped up in. You know what I'm talking about? Wicked Wisdom Wednesday it is. You know what I'm talking about? Nephew says, old man, old lady. Nephew says, old man, old lady. You know what I'm talking about? They say, bro, why you fuck with it like that, man? Because if I don't, ain't nobody else is, man. You know what I'm talking about? Nephew says, old man, old lady. But for real, on that Wicked Wisdom. And it's fucked up. Because there's a lot of gentlemen that's older like me, man. And it's like they doing the same thing in a different way. Using their knowledge or something, you know what I mean? Got the youngsters wrapped up in some bullshit. Coffee Chronicles. Making the youngsters think this is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? And just lead them further and further on into that bullshit. But yeah, back to the lady on April Showers live. You know what I'm talking about? But for real, man, that lady was she was whooping them. You know what I'm talking about? And she was just saying, man, that God is not a God of confusion. You get what I'm saying? He ain't a God of chaos and all that shit. So why is it the church people that's always in the confusion and the chaos? How is it the church people that's always trying to argue the word and God didn't say that and God didn't say that? I told y'all that's where that shit get tricky for me at, you know what I'm talking about? Because if God said one thing, we shouldn't be getting a 900 million meanings out of it, up out of it. You know what I'm talking about? We just shouldn't. And that comes from man, man and woman. That's what that comes from. Because God said what He said. See, that's man and woman that just likes to put a spin on that shit when they want to. You get what I'm saying? Shout out. And that's what that wicked wisdom consists of, man. These motherfuckers come around with the knowledge of something, man, and try to use that shit as the manipulation tactic. That's why it's just good to know yourself. Coffee Chronicles. So I ain't gonna say, I told y'all said well, I ain't gonna say we need to stop doing that. But y'all know what we be out here doing. Y'all just do. But the cold part about it, we be trying to act like it ain't us, don't we? You know what I'm talking about? And that's the cold part about it. We know what we doing, man. God said one thing, man. I don't see how we keep coming up with different meanings for what God said. I just don't. And that's what we do. And we live a whole life of doing that shit. Because that Bible is it's a universal brainwashing. It's a universal rationalization, man. I can do anything on this earth right now. You know what I'm talking about? Point to that Bible. I'm going to tell you where Bible don't work at. You know what I'm talking about? Bible don't work in court. You know what I'm talking about? You can't go up in there and point out a Bible verse in court because they're going to point at your charge. Coffee Chronicles. But y'all, I said I ain't gonna say we need to stop doing that, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to hold my word, man. But for real, we be crazy with that shit, man. We be crazy with that shit, man. And that's what we fucked up at. I told y'all how we is. We likes to play with God like he's a pet, like he's personally ours. You know what I'm talking about? Like we just went and bought God from the pet store or something. You know what I'm talking about? And he just ours. And that's how we do. You know what I'm talking about? And we read that Bible up and down, and we like to come to the forefront with all this wicked wisdom Wednesday it is. You know what I'm talking about? Nephew sits over there, though, lady. They say, bro, why do you fuck with it like that? Because if I don't, ain't nobody else is. They just ain't, man. You know what I'm talking about? Enjoy. But for real. And we be doing that shit, wicked wisdom. But here we come with our version of what God said, don't we? Coffee Chronicles. And we be passing down wrong information. Because all through the day, shit is happening, especially with the kids. Kids been did something, you steadily pointing out Bible verses. This is what God was talking about in Corinthians and all that old shit, you know what I'm talking about? And that ain't what he was talking about. What's cold is we do the same shit to each other that them people was doing to us. And that's what's called. That's that Willie Lynch shit, bro. They just passed the same behaviors down. Now we brainwashing our kids with that shit. Now you know what that shit does? This is what it does if ain't nobody ever told you. It's like you're pumping a fear into somebody. It's like you point to that Bible and you telling them if you doing this, God is going to punish you because God say don't do this. But the part that we skip over is God say don't do a lot of shit. You know what I'm talking about? But we didn't already did that. But here we come trying to tell somebody else what not to do. Y'all know how God is, man. God could bring you from your worst days, man. You could be a motherfucking dolphin yesterday and a millionaire tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about? It just work like that sometimes, man. It's when you hit your shit up to the train. You get what I'm saying? Everybody, you only ready when you ready, man. You get what I'm saying? But we need to stop using this. No, look, I almost broke my promise, y'all. I can't tell you what we need to stop doing. But with this wicked wisdom shit, us just coming around acting like this is what it is. And it's just us using a form of manipulation. Trying to scare somebody is almost like the guilt factor. Like, you know, it say don't do this in the Bible. When God don't like a lot of shit. Do you realize one sin is not bigger than the other one? So some of that same shit you did today, God don't like that either. But you ain't gonna go around talking about what God don't like what you did. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna use that wicked wisdom to point and spew on everybody else though, ain't you? And I'm sick of it. Nephew says old man, old lady. Nephew says old man, old lady. You know what I'm talking about? For real, y'all. For real, man. We be out of pocket with that wicked wisdom. And a lot of times it comes in the form of our knowledge of the Bible. And the knowledge we have of the Bible somehow is just more than what somebody else has of the Bible. So a lot of times what we end up doing, we end up sitting around arguing Bible verses. You know what I'm talking about? You trying to tell me what he meant, and I'm trying to tell you what he meant. You know what I'm talking about? He meant what he meant. How do we keep coming up with other meanings? I don't know. That shit cracks me up though. And it's just not the Bible. It's a bunch of that shit you know. Just in life, you know what I'm talking about? If you know a motherfucker is gonna go to jail for selling drugs because you went to jail for selling drugs a million times, and you sit there and you don't, because a motherfucker gonna do what he gonna do. But if you don't give the motherfucker the correct knowledge, bro, that's kind of like, you ain't wrong. But at the same time, come on, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Because it ain't really your job to look out for the real. It's not. It's not, bro. But like, I don't know. I told you I live off the. I just treat people the way I want to be treated. You know what I'm talking about? So I kind of got like a helping spirit. You know what I'm talking about? If I got some game and just anything, bro, you can have that shit. I ain't really trying to block nobody from doing nothing with it. And I think a lot of times, that's one of our faults as a people. It's like, even if we can't do nothing with no game, bro, we scared to give it to somebody else because we don't want them to be able to do something with it, which makes no sense. Like I said, you blocking a nigga that might could save your life. It don't make no sense, bro. Let everybody get there. The way they act is just the way they act. You'll get there one day. But don't block nobody else from getting there. You feel me? Or do it. Fuck it. But on this Wicked Wisdom Wednesday it is, we be having a lot of it. Coffee Chronicles. Especially that Bible. We don't be using that stuff for what it's really made, what's supposed to be used for. We use that stuff to debate and fight each other like we talking about politics. God's word was pure. Let y'all tell it. So why is we fighting over it? Only you could prevent forest fires. And if you don't remember nothing else, always remember it don't cost nothing. Just show a little bit of that love.